Let's continue our discussion about conversion of NFA to DFA. So, ang step lang natin dito is define the transition table of NFA, convert it into transition to DFA, and then draw the equivalent DFA. Okay? So, let's have this example. So, an automaton that accepts all strings over 0, 1 that ends with 1. Okay? So, the alphabet is 0, 1, and the NFA is this. So A is the initial state, and then ends with 1, so it means it will just go to B, which is the end state. Okay? But there are instances we have lots of values before the last symbol, which is 1. So therefore, we need to have a loop in A. Okay? So from here, let's create the transition table. So in case we have A, in an A state rather, if we have 0, it will just go to A. And if we have 1, it could either go to A or B. While in B, if it's 0 or 1, nowhere to go. Okay? So again, this symbol or phi symbol represent nowhere to go. It will just stop on that state. But in DFA, it could be represented by a dead state. Okay? So from this NFA table, let's convert it to a DFA transition table. So let's start with A. So again, if it's 0, it will just go to A. Okay, and if it's 1, it will go to AB. So when you convert NFA DFA, okay, don't forget that these two states will be combined to a single state. Okay, so it will be considered as one state na. So instead of just 1A or 1B state, it will be AB state, okay, as a single state. So we're going to write it here. And then, since wala pang B dito, so we're going to create a path for the new state, which is AB. So let's create the path for AB for 0. If it's 0 in A, it will just go to A. Am I right? If it's B, nowhere to go. So therefore, if we're going to combine going to A and nowhere to go, it means there is a path which is going to A. Okay? And for 1, if it's A, if it's 1, it will go to B. Okay? And if it's 0, so it will go to B and then it could go to A rather. So we have A, B. Okay? But if it's on B, nowhere to go. So it means AB and nowhere to go. It means AB. Okay? So based on this table, we don't need to have a B state. Since wala namang pupunta sa kanya based on the 2 rows. So it means B was merged to a state, kaya siya nawala. Okay, so it's okay. There are instances na magaganap yun from NFA to DFA because of merging of states. Okay, so again, B is not included in DFA because there's no path, there's no need to include it anymore since walang papunta sa kanya based on the first 2 rows. Okay, so therefore the state will be on our automaton DFA will be A and AB only. Okay, so initially on our NFA, our initial state is A, so it will accept 0. So based on our DFA table, it will just loop. And if it's 1, it will go to a new state, which is called AB. And then in AB, if it's 0, it will go back to A. And if it's 1, it will just loop within itself. Okay? So that will be our DFA equivalent of the NFA. Okay? So let's have another example. So find the equivalent of DFA for the NFA given by the pipe tuple. So for our Q, our states are A, B, C, our alphabet A, B, our initial state is A, final state is C, and the transition table is based on this table. So A, when we have A input, it will go to A or B. If it's B, it will go to C. And in B state, if it's A, it will go to A. If it's B, it will just loop within itself. And if it's C, in C state rather, if it's A, nowhere to go, and B, so it will go back to AB. Okay, so from this table, we're going to create a DFA table. But before that, I'm just going to show you first the design of this NFA automaton. Okay, so A, then loop, then go to B, okay, for A, and then in B, it will go to C, and while in B, okay, so if B state encounter A, it will go back to A, okay, B loop, and then in C, it will just go back to A if it's how encounters B, and go to B state, okay, so this will be the automaton. So going back to this table, we're going to create a DFA equivalent of this. So let's start with A. So from A, if it encounters A, it will go to AB. So now it will become one state, okay, combined state. And when it encounters B, it will go to C. So we have two options for the next path for these two state. So we could consider AB or C for the succeeding path. So I'm going to consider AB muna. Okay. So sa A, so going back to NFA, if it's A on A, it will go to A. Okay. And in case if it's A on B, it will go to A. Okay. So what would be the path for this? And by the way, also in A, if it's A, it could go to B. So for A, go to AB, and for B, it will just go to B. So A, B, B, it means path will be AB. Okay? And for B, for AB, so if A encounters B, it will go to C. Okay? If B encounters B, it will go to itself. So now we have two paths. One going to B, one going to C. Okay? So it means we're going to create a new state. Okay? We're going to combine the path going to B and going to C, and it will be a new state. Okay? So now, meron tayong option for the next path. So consider C or BC. So let's consider BC muna. Okay. When we encounter A with BC or B, it will go to A. Okay. And if it's C, for C, if it encounters A, nowhere to go. So going A and nowhere to go means A. Okay. And if BC encounters B, so B for B will just loop within B. And for B for C, okay, it could either go to A or B. So it means B going to B, C going to AB. BAB is just AB. Okay? So next would be, so ano pa hindi natin na-consider? C. Okay. Kapag C sa A, nowhere to go. So it means we need to create a trap state, which is D. Okay? And kapag B, we go to AB. So existing na siya. So, since we have a new state here, we need to have a path for AB for this state. And if it's AB, since trap state to, it will just go back to itself, which is D. Okay? So this is the complete transition table for DFA. Okay? Equivalent DFA. So from here, let's draw. So we have A, and then if we have A, it will go to AB, and if it's B, it will go to C, which is the end state. Okay? So originally, C to end state. So lahat ng state na may C sa ating DFA equivalent should be a final state. So don't forget that. Basta ang final state, kapag na-combine with other state, it will be, the new state will be a final state na rin. Okay? Going back to the table, so we have AB, kapag A, it will just loop within itself. Pero kapag B, it will go to BC. So this will be a final state since may C tayo dito sa new state natin. Okay? So from BC state, if it encounters A, it will go back to A. And if it's B, it will go to AB. Okay? And if it's on C, if it's A, it will go to a trap state. And if it's B, it will go to AB. And trap state D, any values will just loop within itself. Okay? So this will be our DFA equivalent of the given NFA. Okay? So again, we're going to combine states in DFA and to ensure na lahat may path, so gawin nyo isa-isa. So simulan nyo muna sa first row, then yung state na dineclare nyo doon sa path ng first row, yun yung gagamitin nyo sa succeeding rows to ensure na lahat ng mga states will be included at lahat may path. Okay? So that's it for this video lecture. See you on the next. Thank you.